Welcome back to again to another video. I'm going to be leveling my cakes and then I'm going to be crumb coating them with you all. I do not plan on showing my face until I wrap up the video because as I stated in my previous video, that baking is very intimate for me. It gives me a sense of clarity, peace, and happiness. So I want to still play my music and I will do a voiceover when I edit and explain certain things. So, as I said, I'm really trying to be a consistent YouTuber this year so that hopefully by next year, YouTube will be my main source of income. I'm trying to do this every 2 day thing. So, I hope to talk to y'all soon. And yes, I did just wake up, but I've been showing up and I can give myself that. I've been showing up to YouTube because this is where my heart at and money at. All right, America, let's get into baking these cakes. Well, decorating these cakes because I've already baked them. So here's my kitchen. Y'all look at my magnets. Maybe this is a little glimpse into my life. These are countries that I've been to. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie, America. I did not go to Jordan. My little sister, Fika, went to Jordan and she got me this as a gift because she knows that I love magnets for my refrigerator. Obviously, that's the school I graduated from. I went to Curacao. The St. Thomas thing on top of it, I don't know what's that word called. It fell off, and then I hand wrote it. I have been to London. My friend actually got me that. Everyone knows I'm a Canadian. Aruba, Nigeria. And where am I going for my birthday? We're going to find out later. All right, chat. So here are the cakes that I have baked that I now need to level and crumb coat. It is 3 vanilla cakes and then 4 red velvet cakes. A person ordered an extra layer on their heart cake, and I'm so happy about that. I love tall cakes. Like, I literally love tall cakes. And what I told myself is that when it's my wedding is going to be a showcase of all the cakes that I could make rather than making one big cake. I don't like tall cakes, stacking cakes, because I don't know how to do it. I just know how to make tall cakes. I don't feel when I do it, I'm never satisfied. And I only like to do what I know how to do. I don't want no one questioning why my cake slanted on my wedding day. I don't got time for that. But I'm going to try and see if I like any enough to even do a small tiered cake for them. I don't know. And it's like sacrifice, money, all that. The economy different these days. I can't just be doing stuff for fun as much anymore. I ain't making all that money on yet, and I'm trying to. God, please provide for me. Yah Razak, please provide for me. I mean, you dig. But anyways, let us get into leveling these cakes, and then I will crumb coat them. Okay, bye bye. Well, Tawila gang, welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to my safe space, Tawila's world. Um, I don't know how I'm about to talk for 30 minutes about cakes, but I was thinking that I could also tell you guys stories about being a baker and when I started, how I started. But here I am taking a serrated knife to cut the cake, well, to help me level the cake. This is the type of knife you're supposed to be using when you are cutting a cake. Even when like it's fully decorated and you want to cut to share, this is the type of knife you're supposed to use. It just makes it easier, makes you have more control of the cake. I learned that you had to level the cake the hard way, and I was so upset that you actually have to level the cake because why am I wasting cake? You know, like I felt like I was wasting cake, but then I realized that I could use the top of cakes for cake tops. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is another avenue of making money. I don't even remember when I started making cake pops, but like one day I was like, okay, I'm gonna make me some cake pops. One day it just happened. But I think that like some girl at my school was initially selling cake pops, something like that. High school to be exact. So I started baking because my parents told me no. Like I started baking literally because my parents told me no when I asked them for certain stuff, and I was like, I'm not taking no for an answer. Ain't no way this answer to what I want is no. Here's me taking the second layer of this cake and leveling it. So for one, this is how my baking life truly started. Like I started by selling chocolate at the masjid on Saturday and Sundays when we went to Arabic school. And then, I also sold it to go to like Islamic conferences. I used to be so interested in that stuff, but I think that like now it's a scam. Like I can learn everything I need to learn in the comfort of my own home. I just don't find that much comfort in going to like I'm sorry, going to like Islamic conferences. I don't find no comfort in it unless Dr. Umar Suleiman is gonna be there. Then you can, let me know, and I'm gonna be there. I cut the top of this, and then I was like, no, I need to cut a little bit more because I don't want nothing being uneven. I don't play that. So there I go back in and I cut even more out of this cake because I was like, nah, I'm not satisfied. So I had to cut it again. And that's what breaks my heart because like sometimes no one orders cake pops like they used to back in the day. And I'm not in school where I could just sell these and make an extra buck off of this cake. Anyways, back to like when I started making cakes. So I had started selling those packs of candies that they got from Costco. I used to sell them for $1. And then after that, I like to pour off the crumbs off the cake. And then after that, I was like, oh, I could sell cookies. I started selling cookies for like 2 for $1. That was back in the day when the economy was good, And I used to get those Toll House tubs from Costco. Me and Costco been best friends. We and Costco, I love Costco. I don't go to Costco now because I can't really afford Costco. But yeah, I love me some Costco. My mom used to shop there, so that's why I love Costco, I guess. But when I start making some good money I will be at Costco, okay? Anyways, after that, I started making cupcakes. I don't even know why. A girl started selling baked goods at my school after I started selling cookies and brownies. I used to sell brownies 2 for $1 as well. And then someone was like, Aisha, you can't let her take your business. You got to start making cakes. You got to start making cupcakes. So girl, I hopped in that kitchen. I started learning how to make cakes. I started learning how to make cupcakes. I started learning how to make cake pops. And then like when I bake cakes and I cut the top off, child, I done make me some cake pops. That's me making extra money rather than just throwing the tops away. I never initially threw it away, but like I was really confused as of why I had to cut the top of the cake. But I learned the hard way because one time I was trying to make a cake for someone. Then I realized that like I can't just push it in and then hope that the cake is gonna take form. I actually have to cut it off. And that day changed for me because ever since then, girl, I've been making the prettiest cakes ever. At least I've grown to make the prettiest cakes ever because when I initially started baking, I did not know what I was doing. Look at this one, taking forever to come out. I was so scared. I'm like, not you about to embarrass me when I'm trying to teach my Tawila family about baking. Well, show them what I'm doing at least. I was listening to my music. I was locked in. But yeah, that's how I started baking. And then I began to learn. I watched so many YouTube videos. When I tell you that YouTube is my university, that is how I learned so much. I am a visual learner too, so I kept watching YouTube videos. If someone orders a cake that I've never made before, I'll go search for a YouTube video about it. There was this one time someone ordered a Canon cake from me, an actual Canon camera cake. And I went on YouTube and I went to go learn how to make it. And I was so proud of myself because, girl, who would have thought that little old me would be making Canon cakes, But ultimately, I am so grateful that I learned this skill by myself. I did not go to culinary school. I did not take no baking classes from another baker. I literally got up off my butt and I learned how to make this. So here I am just showing the tops of the cakes that I covered. I always preserve them and use them for either dessert cups or I turn them into cake pops or when people come over and I just want to give them something sweet, I cut them a little piece, especially Gania. Oh my God, y'all. Gania loves cake so bad. She just thinks I'm a cake maker, which is kind of what I am. But still, she'll just call me, oh, Aisha, you got some cake. I'm really craving cake this and the third. And I'll just be like, yeah, girl, of course I got cake, but it be in the freezer. Then I got to go into my freezer, get it out. And I gotta, make it look nice for her and everything. But I enjoy being a baker. I enjoy the process more than anything. But I also really love when people come and get the cake and get it out my way. I need my refrigerator. You know what I mean? But this is me. I took this little trick from my mom, I guess. I take those grocery bags from the grocery store and I use it to store stuff. My mom always did that. And I used to wonder why this lady got these grocery bags. She always used to grab that those wine or onion pink looking ones from Costco. And I used to really wonder, why is this lady taking these bags? But everything that my mom did when I was growing up, there was a reason. There was a reason. There was a reason, and I catch myself doing stuff that like my mom used to do in my kitchen. I just be like, oh my gosh, I really did learn something from this lady. Not to say I didn't learn anything, but like I be carrying on her habits, because my daughter one day is gonna be in the kitchen with me, and she's gonna be like, why is mommy doing this? But then when she get older, she could be like, oh, mommy did this for that. So I like to just put them in the bag and then preserve them. Either like I'm going to make these into dessert cups, or I am going to, what I'm going to do with them? I'm just preserve them till when someone orders from me. So now what am I about to show y'all? I think I'm just like trying to clean up and let y'all know that like I'm saving these. So there's that. What do I do after this? Oh, so here I am about to show you guys the layers that I just cut and I sized. And yeah, I love me some parchment paper. I like parchment paper. I think it's a very good thing that someone decided to create. Shout out to them. And this is me also showing y'all the dishes that I'm irritated that I have to wash. One of the things I dislike about being a baker is washing the pans. It's not fun. Now we are about to begin crumb coating our cakes. I also learned this the hard way. I used to wonder, why is there crumbs in my stuff? Come to find out, you have to crumb coat your cake, chat. I was like, oh my God, I really have to crumb coat my cake. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. I was like, why can't I just do it one time and it's cool? But yeah, here I am doing the crumb coat for this vanilla cake. Vanilla cake is the most ordered cake, and then second is red velvet. And then third, I could say chocolate and cookies and cream, but people really just love a simple vanilla cake or a simple red velvet cake. But obviously, vanilla is the one that tops everything. I be having wrist problems, and I think part of it is being a decorator. Is being a cake decorator. I don't know, because my hand be hurting. But I took some ibuprofen. I'm so grateful that the pain has reduced. And in general, when I was a pharmacy technician, I hurt my wrist from the position I had to keep my hand in. I was so irritated because I kept telling them, I'm like, my wrist is hurting. My wrist is hurting. The way that they set up I tried to set it up to help me out. Girl, it did not help me out. I was hurt. I was fucked up. You know what I mean? But Allah's the healer, and he gonna heal this hand of mine. Oh, maybe I could tell you guys one of like scary stories that I have in regards to like customers. This was 2022. A girl had ordered a cake for me. She had a $50 balance. Mind you, this is why I had to change my policy in regards to like people paying in full. But recently I haven't really been keeping up to it. People think I'm finna run away with their money. I don't do that. I'm not y'all. You know what I mean? But it pissed me off so bad because that cake, I put all of my hard work into it, and she just never sent me the cake. She just never sent me the balance. Like, I kept calling her, kept texting her. She was taking forever for one to even come and pick up the cake. Lied to me, said that she was outside. She was never outside. This girl ran off with my $50. That is basically $100 right now. Also, this same girl, you guys know, I don't know if you guys remember, I know how to do makeup on people. I may not be the bestest, but I can do some makeup, you know what I mean? But the girl had booked me for her prom, had me waiting in her house for hours by myself. Don't know these people that's in her house. I just know her. She just had me there. Her appointment was for 4 o'clock. I had just moved too. My heart was already fragile. It was just a mess. And that was one of my scary stories. Another scary story was when this girl ordered a cake for her boyfriend, and she lied that she did not like it. And then that made me just like walk away from her. I tend to not argue with people when it comes to stuff like this. I tend to block them, and they're never allowed to order from me again. Another pet peeve of mine. Oh, and then she basically did not pay her balance. That was irritating. Another pet peeve of mine is people that like inquire about cakes and they don't make an order. My information about cakes is more than clear on my page. Like I put my menu up there. I put everything up there. But people still be asking me questions that can easily be answered rather than me spending my time to consult and then they don't make an order. This one lady had me talk to her for days. I told her I was in Nigeria. She had me talk to her for days just for her to, after I send the invoice that she requested, just for her to not place the order. I looked at the message, I didn't see anything. And honestly, she's at the brink of being blocked. And I already knew that all of this nonsense that she's been doing has just been for show. I know she never wanted to support me. It's just for show. But at the end of the day, I'm just grateful that I am a baker. And despite the nonsense that I face in this industry, I still continue to bake. I can say that like the finished process is honestly my favorite part because it's like I put all of this together. I've had cake mess ups and I made a whole cake all over from scratch when I did not like it, and also the customer didn't like it, and I had to take accountability, and I made the cake completely over. And yeah, I always take accountability. Like, I have messed up on cakes and I have taken full accountability. I have offered to redo a whole cake when someone didn't like it, but when she did not like it and she sent $100 deposit, I just had to block the woman. And I still feel kind of sad about that today because I really felt like I could have given her a different cake rather than her just losing $100. That's something that I regret. But hopefully one day the person can't come back because they blocked now, right? But I take accountability. That's just one thing about me. Y'all know I already told y'all I don't play when it comes to accountability. I will take accountability. You know what I mean? You dig? Sometimes what I plan on doing when it comes to baking just doesn't go like that, and it just be what it is. Can't do nothing but go with the flow. You know what I mean? What you may, and that's another thing too about me. I like to, what's that word called? I like to go above and beyond with my cake orders. Like, I never played. Here's the first cake fully iced. Now we are crumb coating our second cake, which is the vanilla heart red velvet cake. I do not know why I paused like that, but I was trying to figure out what I was doing. Anyways, I am using a cake drum instead of a cake board. Because the cake is a little bit heavier, I decided to make the foundation a cake board. Look at that moist red velvet heart cake. I always tell everyone that red velvet is literally chocolate cake with dye and vinegar. That's the only thing that makes it different. What am I saying? The only thing that makes it different is the vinegar and the dye. That is what red velvet is. Chocolate cake with red velvet and dye. And I grew up, as I began to like learn different recipes, I was so shocked. I'm like, whoa, look at this. Look at what we have here. Just a variation of chocolate cake. But shout out to chocolate cake being the base of red velvet cake. I don't think I really have like a favorite cake or anything. I just like to decorate cakes. Like, I'm not really a cake person. I like ice cream cake. Buy me some ice cream cake. That'll do it for me. I mean, you dig? And I love decorating cakes. I love the process, especially when the process goes as planned. Like, I may not do exactly I'm always inspired, right? But like, I just love when the process doesn't stress me out. And the process usually doesn't stress me out when I start early. Like, I need to take my time and do the cake. I do not like being rushed. I don't like anybody in the kitchen. That's why I used to always bake at nighttime at my parents' house, because I always waited for everyone to go to sleep. Or I take all my stuff and go into the basement and then come upstairs, bring the cake up to refrigerate it. But yeah. I don't know if I said this before, but the consistency of buttercream that I use to crumb coat the cake is separate from what I use to decorate the cake. I like it a little bit way lighter, not even a little bit, way lighter than what I use to use for the final coat of the cake, just to make it easier for it to slide across and all that type of stuff. I do not know what was going on here. I think I was just trying to make sure that like it was completely leveled. I did not want no shock. You guys, I don't even know what to tell y'all, but I am upset with where I chose to stay for my, no, I'm not upset about it. I'll just talk about that another time. But here I am up, oof, I can't speak, can I? Here I am applying the last layer so I can then crumb coat the sides. I can't wait to have a bakery one day and make it a pillar in my community and also like teach baking classes. I am sometimes very scared to like push myself. Sometimes I'm scared. And it's like, I don't know, like I'd be scared. I'd be so scared. I don't know. It's like all this while I've always wanted to teach a cake decorating class and I never got a chance to because everything is so expensive. When I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making excuses, but I really want to teach a cake decorating class. And I pray that one day I can. And maybe I even need to start small and do a cake decorating class with just my siblings, you know, or just some friends, which I wanted to do, but Allah knows best. Allah knows best. Allah knows best. I wish there was more for me to talk about. Like I said, I'm so upset. I still gotta talk for like 9 minutes just to entertain y'all while I'm doing this because I don't want to use any music. I do not want to be copyrighted later down the line. No, I'm gonna just use my voice to entertain y'all. In 2026, I hope to just be a better person for myself. I hope to love on myself. I hope to be showered in love. I hope to make many Ooh, what is this on my leg? I hope to make many memories, you know. I don't want to be in my house all the time. I want to be outside. Like, I want to be at charity events. I want to be at fashion events. I want to have brand deals. I want to make so many cakes this year, too. I need to actually decorate a cake for myself, even. Only God knows when I'm going to do that. Only God knows. Maybe I should bake it before I leave, but I'm leaving this week, so I don't know. Anyways, chat. I hope you guys are enjoying this process so far. Let me know what y'all think I should do in the comments. Like, what do you guys want to see from me? Do you guys want a tour of my closet? I honestly feel so like decoration-wise, my closet is not the best, but like I have enough space. And that's one thing I am very skeptical about when it comes to leaving this apartment. I am scared of my next apartment not having a walk-in closet because if you guys saw what I was confined to for 23 years, it's nothing compared to what I have right now. That's why I need to be more grateful. I need to be way more grateful for what I got right now because it was a time where I was praying for this and I finally got it. I remember the day I woke up in this apartment, I was like, whoa, I really made it, despite me losing my job when I moved here. Allah really knows best. I be trying to understand it, but I be always telling myself that I can't understand it because I'm nothing but Allah's servant. Like, I'm his worshiper, you know what I mean? That is it. That is all. But I love me a good heart cake. I was trying to convince the other customer that ordered the 3-layered round cake to get a heart cake, but she insisted on a round cake. I was like, okay, girl, okay. I want to be married, y'all. I want to be married. I've started to do this thing where I think about how it would look if like everything is okay for me rather than always dwelling in my sadness and dwelling in my anxiety. Like, my anxiety is really, really bad. I try to be as calm as possible. I try to take my deep breaths. I try to do ayatul kursi. I try, but Shaitan be like, no, worry about the past, worry about the future that you don't have no control over, right? And I also try not to worry too much. I keep trying to remind myself that Allah truly loves me because if everything is going bad and I'm not like thinking about Allah, I should be concerned. But I'm always grateful that like when things aren't going my way, I still remember Allah. Like, I talk to him. Like, I don't just act like nothing matters because things things matter and bills gotta be paid. You know what I mean? I always remind myself that like Allah is in control despite my questions, despite me not understanding certain things. I just hope that I can be at peace this year. Like, I want peace. I want new experiences. I want brand deals. I want more collaborations. I want Allah's forgiveness. I want His mercy. I want His favor. I want His grace. I want a new career. I could even be a project manager in beauty. So I just hope that new opportunities, these opportunities that I want can be mine. Like, chat, no one understands me, I don't think. I think that's another thing too that I think that I'm misunderstood, honestly. I just stand on principle. I don't even think it's misunderstood. I am misunderstood, but also people are not like me. Like, people don't value loyalty. People value betrayal more than they value loyalty. On top of that, I was talking about me wanting a husband. When I take a good look into like what would make me happy as a 27-year-old that has, I have held my hand through a lot in my life. Like, I have held my hand through a lot in my life. And I yearn for a partner that is willing to hold my hand and love me beyond my sorrow. Mind you, let's just keep in mind that I already love myself. I can be a better woman for myself. And then when I talk to Allah and I be like, oh, Allah, please make me a better woman, I be telling Him to make me a better woman for myself first. My siblings, my family, my friends next, and then my husband, because I want to be a better woman for myself first, then be a better woman for my husband. But I know that I want a partner for this life, because it's not fun living alone every day, coming here alone, coming home to myself and not having no one to like physically talk to, physically hug. At least like when I lived with my parents, I got to hug my siblings. I may not have been the happiest girl and I may have been way sad, but I at least had my siblings. And I always tell everyone, if I don't have anybody, I have my siblings, literally. I get emotional talking about them children. But I look forward to having someone to come home to. I do not want to live with somebody. I want to do life with somebody, I want to talk to somebody. I want to tell them about my day. I want to send pictures of my outfits, I just want to enjoy life with someone, and I hope that I can meet a candidate this year. Lord, please. Lord, please, Lord, please, Lord, please. Ever since my cousin got married, I ain't been doing nothing but saving stuff for my wedding. All I need is a man to complete it. I look forward to seeing like what type of colors my man is going to want. But I think at this point, I am almost done with icing this cake. Just filling in little crannies and nicks, or nicks and crannies, however it's said. But yeah, chat, I hope you guys are having an amazing evening. I hope y'all are chilling. And here is the final for this red velvet cake. Look at her. This is what you call a naked cake, by the way. Here I am just cleaning the bottom of the border. Like, someone could order a cake like this. I dislike this, though. I don't like doing America, but these are the two cakes that I crumb coated. This is a round 8-inch with 3 layers of cake, and then this is a 8-inch with 4 layers. I can't wait to finish decorating them. I just want to let y'all know that while I was filming my, this thing, my camera had told me that I had no more storage, so I went through this whole charade of trying to make sure I cleared out my SD card on my camera, because apparently I had ghost files. It was like I was praying to Allah that I lost nothing. So I'm just grateful that I was able to recover all of my stuff. So I'm just going to put these inside the refrigerator, and then I'm going to continue decorating them another day. But yeah, baking is literally a process. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed tuning y'all into my world of being a baker. It's a process, but we're going to get there. All right, now talk to y'all later. Bye.